Education meeting. Call to order, please. Mrs. McDermott?
And Mrs. Krieg.
Here.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Here.
Mr. Pierson.
Here.
Mr. Andrus.
Here.
And Mr. Cooper.
Here.
Certification by the treasurer of compliance with meeting requirement rules.
You are in compliance.
This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. If you are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we need to waive the reading and approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
And Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
All right, this is the portion of the meeting where the public may come and address the board. If you are coming to the microphone to address the board, please state your name and your address. You will have 5 minutes to speak, and we'll let you know when your time is up. Come on down.
Hello, my name is Annette Pfeiffer. My address is 2069 State Route 307 in Austinburg, and I'm here speaking on behalf of my daughter, Eva Pfeiffer, who is going to be a junior at Geneva this year. And I have a script that I'm following that she and I agreed on, so excuse me if I'm reading. I am here regarding the district's decision to award only elective credit and no weighted credit for Kent State University's Introduction to Human Communication, a College Credit Plus course. I appreciate the time district administrators, specifically the assistant superintendent, has taken to discuss this issue with me. My purpose tonight is to simply seek a clarification and consistency regarding how College Credit Plus courses are evaluated. I have been told that Intro to Communication does not qualify, one, as an English credit, and nor will it be weighted, two, because it does not include every, the word used was every component of a traditional English language arts course, even though it teaches many skills found within Ohio's English standards. Okay? So what I'm struggling to understand is how this standard, every component, is applied across all College Credit Plus courses. I can give some examples. So for example, my daughter asked the school counselor when she was asking about the English or the speech class being in English, she asked about psychology. Could psychology count as a history, social studies credit? And the answer was yes. And in the past, that has been weighted because I had a son who took psychology and that was weighted. So if psychology can count as a history and it can be weighted, then I ask, why not speech? Okay, because it doesn't cover, neither of them would cover every component of history or ELA. Other examples would be things like college writing. Does college writing cover every component of an English 11 course? At Kent or Lakeland, they break up world history. World history is broken up into time periods. So would you have to take every world history class to count for world history? Or if you just take one time period, that doesn't cover every component of our world history class here at Geneva. Same with American history, etc. Ohio College Credit Plus Course substitution crosswork, which is made by Ohio, specifically identifies speech and applied communication courses as examples of courses that can satisfy English language arts requirements. And Intro to Communication falls directly within that category. Obviously, I'm not asking for immediate decision tonight. In fact, if you follow your board policy, I'm supposed to go to the superintendent and then directly to the state and not even come to the board. But I'm simply asking for a clear explanation of the criteria being used to evaluate CCP courses, a copy of that written criteria, and a review of whether those criteria are being applied consistently. Students and families deserve to understand how these decisions are being made, and I respectfully ask the board to review this issue and the policies guiding these determinations. And I'm going to add, since I have a little bit of time, I think under my 5 minutes, is the 2 policies that was sent to me is not even being followed. So I'll let you guys look that up yourself, but since 3 of you have children in the district, that's not even being followed. So thank you for your time, your service.
Thank you.
Thanks, Annette.
Anyone else? All right, it's time for the report of the food service director, please.
Hello. I'm Mariah, in case you don't know me. Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think everybody had a copy sent to them of it. So I just wanted to touch on a couple things. This year, we did serve 224,000, a little over 224,000 lunches for free, and 91,000 breakfasts for free. Our expenses were higher in labor for this year, or they were down in labor for this year, up in food costs. However, I did join a new co-op starting next year, and we're projected to save $55,000 in food costs. Under the other category, the $108,000, 105 of that was transfers from last year before our reimbursements came in. So it looks like it's not, there was only 3,000 for other, technically, under my terms. Okay. Should I go over any more of that?
Do you want, which one do you want? You want to talk about this?
Sure.
No, go ahead.
Okay. This year we did go through 3 different audits for the food service. We had our administrative review audit, which happens every 4 to 5 years. We had our procurement audit and a fiscal audit. We passed all of them. I did start our new salad bar in May, and we were averaging about 13 fresh salads at the high school level a day. Right now, we're averaging 30 to 31, depending on the day. Next year, I am changing the whole lunch menu. That's why I also included that in the report that got sent to you. We're going to offer a fresh salad bar on the right side, a fresh yogurt, granola, and fruit bar on the left. And then we'll have our 6-week option, and then we'll have an option that changes every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, stuff like that. At the elementary level, we are going to be offering 5 different options for the students. There will be gluten-free options, vegetarian options, and this should appeal to the staff more. I sent out a survey, I think you all got it as well, about what the kids and staff would like to see.
Do the kids love the salad bar?
They
or-
love it,
Yeah.
and the staff loves it too,
Yeah.
which is good. So
And that's covered under the free lunch
it
program.
is, yep. So as long as they get crackers or croutons or a fresh roll, then it's all reimbursable. Same with the yogurt and fresh fruit bar too.
Awesome. Thank you for your work on that.
Thank you, Mariah.
Thank you. All right. Report of the superintendent.
All right, number of items to talk about. First one is, I don't want to refer to myself as starting, so I will be, so professional development scholarship I received from AASA, BASA, Foundation of Appalachian Ohio and Martha Holy Jennings Foundation. This is a professional development scholarship for $8,000 to participate in SOAR for the 2026-2027 school year.
Need a motion to approve, please?
I motion. And I'll second.
Discussion?
Yeah, this is super exciting. SOAR is actually through the School Superintendent Association. So it's a national organization, but SOAR, I'm doing SOAR Ohio. So they do give a couple scholarships to superintendents, and this is a collaborative group who works through innovation and transformation cohort, which is really exciting. I know Mayfield superintendent as well as Willoughby East Lake superintendent is heavily involved. And the goal here is to meet with cohorts of different superintendents, not only from the state, from across the country, to look at innovative ways to bring instruction, to improve student instruction as we move through next year. There's a number of virtual meetings. There's a couple conferences involved. And our whole entire administrative staff is also put into a cohort which is called Innovation and Transformation. So all their emails have been sent there. So we're going to really have a great year next year, really looking at different pathways for students. And the scholarship really helps because it's about $8,000 to join.
Fantastic. That's very exciting.
Are there any other superintendents in our area doing it?
I don't believe so. Not that I know of.
Any other questions? All right, roll call.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
and Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
All right, 5.2, GATA grievance settlement.
All right, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
Quick discussion on this one. This happened before Shelley and I got here. So we were able to agree with GATA and have a grievance settlement for minimal amount of money for this one. So it was a very good settlement.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
All right, 5.3, this is the final reading of our last policy of the year. We'll be up to date on our policies and administrative guidelines, but this is 5421, updated weighted chart for grading. So the policy is 5421 grading.
Need a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
and Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
All right, 5.4 SWINK is a K-12 educational streaming site license proposal.
I need a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right,
Discussion.
yeah, what this is, if you're going to show movies, if you're going to show any kind of clips that are copyright, it's good and best practice to have a site license proposal like this. If the PTA wants to show a movie and for fundraising, it's important to also have this. I know in the past people have done that in districts, but unless you can really get in trouble for copyright, and this protects the district from that.
There are movies you can show that are not copyrighted anymore, but they're way older, correct?
Yeah.
So this is if you want to do anything 1970 and above, maybe.
I don't know the date,
Yeah.
but yes.
So they'll still relicense them.
Oh,
That was part of how Michael Jackson secured his exit of his, is he bought all the Beatles rights after they had expired on their first album.
Does this include music and everything?
Music, yeah. There are certain written, single author, single origin works, such as books, if they are pre that, whatever that 35, 45 year look back period, excluding textbooks, that will be exempt. But that's usually, the license still comes through, like let's say Apple or Penguin will publish them at low or no cost, and that's kind of how they do that. So this would be like that hold licensing.
So how do we land on Swank for being our one that we would like to go with? Did we review some other ones by chance, just to be sure?
Jen, can you? Sorry.
This was purchased by the middle school on their own last year, and they wanted to renew it,
Okay.
and that's what caused us to look into it, basically. So,
Is it the same premium as last year, or is it?
we're paying a site license, so we're paying more, but it's actually cheaper because it goes all throughout the whole district. So they were actually paying more for one building than we are paying for the whole district, paying a little bit
like
more.
an
But
umbrella policy
yeah.
type
Mhm.
deal?
Okay, anyone else? All right, roll call.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
and Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
All right, the next couple here are our parent handbooks. First one is our preschool parent handbook for 26-27.
I need a motion.
All motion.
I'll second.
So this handbook has been updated. Since we updated our policies, all the policies have been updated. We have put links in here so that makes it easy for parents to click on the link and find the policies. And even our calendars in there, and any of our day-to-day schedules are also in here. So it's very comprehensive.
So this is going to kind of encompass all of the handbooks as I was looking through them. What is our policy going to be as far as getting these into hands of parents? Now, I know it would be silly for myself, the parent of a senior. I don't need a paper copy. Are we going to come up with a way, perhaps maybe our kindergarten parents get a paper copy? Maybe our 6th grade parents going into the middle school get a paper copy, and then maybe we offer it to our freshman parents as if they want a paper copy. How do we want it? I remember when my kids were in preschool that I probably would have wanted a paper copy, but what do you think? Does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I know links are great for me now, but I know some families may want to have an actual paper copy in hand. And I want to say thank you for the layout of these, because having all of the board policies linked in there, it was a joy to go through and read all of these and be able to navigate everything that was in there. It was a lot of work, and I really appreciate the time that went into all of these handbooks. So
now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but I believe this is going to be through Final Forms.
I figured it would go,
Were
but I
they-
didn't know if maybe there was a Google form they could fill out through that if they wanted a paper copy, or what that
Yes.
would look like.
So if people want a paper copy, they just talk to their principal, and
Okay.
they're going to have paper copies for people that want
Perfect. Okay.
a hard copy for sure.
Well, they look fantastic, so thank you, everybody.
Sure.
So. Are there any other questions or?
So in final forms, is it there's so many things you have to check in final forms. Is this going to be something that you have to check that you read it?
Yes.
So it'll be like an electronic signature that you read the handbook.
That's my understanding, right?
Is it like that now?
I think it is, right?
Mhm.
Correct? We have it now.
It is? I should know that.
Yeah.
Has it always been like that since
It
we
kicked-
started final forms? Okay.
It kicks it to the student email in
Yeah.
the high school. Like we read it, and isn't that how it does it? It kicks it to the student email, and they have to sign off on it. I think. Okay.
The preschoolers?
Not the
Preschoolers.
preschoolers.
Well,
Yes.
We'll let 'em go to school. We won't haul those preschoolers off yet, but. All right. Roll call.
Mrs. Craig.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm off my sheet. Sorry. Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
all right, 5.6 is the elementary school handbook.
All right. Need a motion?
A motion.
Second.
And this is the same. It's been updated with our policies, etc.
All right. Any discussion? All right, roll call.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
And Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
All right, 5.7 is our secondary school handbook. I put the 7 through 12 together this year. I believe they were separate in the past, or 6 through 12. That's right, 6 through 12. But I just think it makes sense to have the secondary handbook because most of the stuff was the same, and now we've aligned the middle school and high school to this one.
Need a motion, please?
So moved.
I'll second. Any questions or discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
And Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
All right, 5.8 is a student parent device handbook. Jared updated this one according to our policies.
I need a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Were there changes made? Because I don't see red lines delineated.
There were some updates, and I apologize if they weren't noted.
I mean, I don't see anything alarming in here.
Yeah, I honestly, I couldn't tell you exactly where those changes were right now.
I feel like some of this also, did this get dropped into the secondary handbook as well?
Yes.
I
Mhm.
feel like that.
So
This handbook was dropped into the secondary as well as being like an addendum on its own.
yes, we made sure that we
Okay.
aligned all of these handbooks, but yes.
I think, I apologize, but I think I'd like to see the changes before I vote on that.
Yeah.
I would too.
We'll have this underlined, maybe?
Well, because there's certain provisions, right? Like, student may not install apps or extensions, or what?
Okay, well, I could bring this back next month
Thank you.
with it edited.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so I need a motion to move this, to table it until July.
I'm
I'll second.
Okay? Roll call.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
yes.
Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, 5.9, approval of the revised administrator, director, supervisor, manager, central office staff contract guidelines effective July 1st, 2026, and to approve a 3% increase to the base for 26-27.
I need a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, and Shelley, jump in here, but I know this was a task. Oh, I remember last year at this time, the board talked about us updating the administrative guidelines for contract guidelines because it was very difficult to understand. We took our time this year, but Shelley did a very nice job contributing to this. We both talked multiple times and felt it's very comprehensive. It does align to our practices, and I think it's really easier to understand than the original one. And I thank Shelley for all her work on this.
We did. Yes.
This is beautiful.
It is.
I don't even know if there's another word for it.
I don't know if you saw that. I guess if we brought you the original one.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
like
My head's
the
fine.
old one. It had the Scouts honor at the end. I choose to be honorable, adhere to blue laws in the state of Ohio, and
Yeah.
avoid morally corrupt activities. It's pretty cool.
Mr. Lilly knew his calculations.
This one's a little
by
specific.
0.00752, so that was the last
gosh.
5 years minus the underlying encumbrances plus the
Y'all have no
he
idea.
We
he
even have
made it and he
schedules.
knew how to do it and he was wonderful at it.
Yeah.
But
This is much more user friendly. Thank you very much.
And
Yeah.
we took it to the administrators, the directors, the non-bargaining
Mm-hmm.
thing.
And defining what those roles are.
And and just making sure that it was compliant and comparable to what the old one had, but understanding that we're trying to separate them from GATA and OPSI,
Yeah. Just a beautiful job. Thank you both very much. This is
You're welcome.
Much easier.
Yes.
Much easier to read.
user friendly and will carry us through. And those changes after those years move on, it'll just move so much nicer. Thank you very much. All right, any other questions? Comments? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
and Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
All right, 5.10, resolution authorizing execution of an agreement with Then Design Architect Incorporated for the Athletic Improvements Project.
I need a motion, please.
All motion.
I'll second.
Discussion?
All right, we did approve Then Design, but this is the official contract, and Then Design is here, and we'll go later on in the agenda. We'll go through the athletic facility proposal where we are at that time.
Wonderful. Any other questions or discussion until then? All right, roll call?
Mrs. Craig,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pearson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
and Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
All right, 511, resolution selecting Intertech PSI for geotechnical, construction material testing, special inspection services, and authorizing the negotiation and execution of an agreement for the athletic improvements project.
I need a motion, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
All right, this is the contract for that technical construction material. So they're going to be doing some testing around the site, which is really important to have prior to digging and those types of things.
Any questions?
So this is more of a site survey where we're putting the stadium, correct?
Could he speak?
Do you want to speak to this? You know better than I, so it's a good thing you're here.
Not paying attention to this one.
This is the
Geotech.
geotechnical.
So the
core
geotechnical is all the dirt below the surface. It's looking at the composition of that dirt, determining what it is, so that when you go in and you're doing paving or you're running sewers or such, you put in the right type of compaction and soils and things on top of it. It helps you design the foundations and everything. It's very critical because you don't do these borings now. You go start scraping dirt, you find out what's really there, and then there might be a problem, there might not be a problem, but now you know, and it's at a very small cost. So,
Okay.
Makes sense? It's not, also, I want to say, it's not a perfect science. They're taking holes in specific locations, but it gives us a much better idea of what we have out there. So
What kind of turnaround time are they looking at as far as for sending out samples and getting results back?
they're usually, I think, 3 to 5 weeks, depending on how quickly they can move. So the first stuff that we're going to be doing with the project is going to be a lot of topsoil moving and getting basins and stuff like that ready for construction. So to get ahead of all that stuff and have some of these borings in place, that would be big advantage in the big scheme of things. So, make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here for any more questions.
Is there any way that this was all prior done, like I think in October we had a question, I was not on the board at the time, about the soil samples. Does anybody recall that? Mr. Douglas, I'd like to ask that.
And those were done over here when we built the board office. With that,
If I could weigh in on that, we did
I'll come
ask
to
about
them.
those.
Yeah, I never heard of them.
We did ask about those, and there was back research done to see if there were any taken over in that area, and there were none found to have been taken over where we're doing the stadium. So,
Thank you.
You know the answer. I just want to ask this so it's on the record. This Route 84 ridge is congruent with being nearly level with the water table, this being a former, I believe, wetland that was remediated. So it would take comprehensive soil samples taken to make sure, one, the foundations are solid, and two, the permeated bedrock, or in the case of Route 20, holes, for the lack of a better term, are there before we build multi-million-dollar construction on it.
yes, it's good to see basically what's under the soil. What it will do is it establishes where the water table is, Again, that's seasonal, so it fluctuates, but we'll give you a better idea of what it is. Another important thing is bedrock. If you are starting to see that down, we don't have any gigantic foundations that are going to go super deep over in the stadium, so that helps us. But utilities, as you're running storm sewers and stuff through there, if there's if there's granite down 6 inches, you want to know that there's granite down 6 inches. So it's just really nice to know the composition of the soil so that you can forecast. Sometimes you can plan around conditions if there's something in the soil, or sometimes you dig down, you see absolutely nothing, it looks fantastic, and you're good to go. So,
And for the soil samples over here, what are the chances that they would be completely identical to the ones that are taken over here?
0.
Thank you.
No, I mean, even across that area over there,
Yep.
there's a pretty strong chance of variation across that. Because if you look over there, you can see where they've formed the earth based on how they wanted the water to flow through that area. So if you take one directly in the center of a soccer field and one in one of the swales, it's going to look different. Cool. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Still right.
All right, anything else? All right, roll call, please.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
and Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
All right, 5.12, a resolution to suspend an employee without pay.
I need a motion, please.
All motions.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg, and
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
All right, 5.13, substitute rates for the upcoming year, 26-27. These will be effect July 1st of 26. And those are the rates.
I need a motion, please.
I move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Again, last year we did change these to base 0 of our OPSI pay scale. So we are, I just recently filled out a spreadsheet with the other treasurers in the county for their sub rates. And other than Ashtabula County with their bus driver sub rate, which is astronomical, we are at the top.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
We're at the top in all of these or substitute teach?
For all this substitute, there's 3 districts that are at 140.
Okay.
Still, we did not increase that from last year
Right.
because we did take a pretty, high increase on that one last year, and that one usually doesn't change year to year. But the only one, I think someone might have a long-term sub that they pay a little bit more.
Mhm.
But
What's the scope of work on the Pony Express substitute? What is that?
so we have a courier that runs every day, and
They only have
and,
a single.
and that person's called the Pony.
Okay.
Yes. So
It doesn't really drive a horse.
I was gonna
right?
say, where's this pony at?
It's-
Sitting
it's-
around here.
we have not updated that from the work.
Okay,
Yes.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
and Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
All right, number 6, contract. 6.1, this is the Ohio School Plan Cyber Liability Insurance contract.
I need a motion, please.
I move.
Second.
Discussion.
So I'll cover the first 2. We do have we have a pollution policy and a cyber liability insurance policy that we get through the Ohio Schools Plan, who also has our other types of insurance. Our pollution is $674 a year, which is the same as last year. And our cyber, which has $1 million limit, a $10,000 deductible, it was $12,422 for the year, and it was only a $195 increase from the prior year.
Okay, and that's 6.1 and 6.2. 6.3 is our Ravenwood contract for next year. Very pleased with Ravenwood. We are now able to cover all schools, and we did cover all schools towards the end of last year, but we'll have 3 FTE, 2 full-time and 2 part-time people, and we'll be able to cover all the schools. The nice thing about the contract, in the past, they only saw certain kids, but they assured me that all kids are welcome to be seen by Ravenwood employees. And then we'll make sure that they get to any of the needs they need. We'll make sure that happens. But I'm happy about that because I think it's really important that if a student needs something, that they go to an adult and we have this resource for them.
Excellent. Will this loop in with the house? once it-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they want to be one of our partners once the house is up and running.
Fantastic. All right. Any other questions or discussion?
I'm not seeing our premium for that. What is?
I don't think it was on the sheet that I saw either.
Oh, for the pollution?
No.
Oh, the
Premium
Ravenwood.
for Raven.
Ravenwood and the pollution.
Yeah, Ravenwood's the dollar amount's in there, and that's when you think about 3 employees, it's really a good deal, and we are using our DPIA funds for this, which are targeted funds that have to be used for
Under fees.
social emotional services.
So, yeah. So,
So what's the math add up to for this?
I think it's 114. If you look at, let's see,
yeah.
141.
it's 141,000.
Or 41, yeah.
Pre-crisis school. Yeah.
It's number 4 on page 2.
Yeah, is there actual individuals placed then at these schools for the services, or how is this allocated?
Oh, it's just,
Yes, they are in the schools all day. We do have a couple that travel to schools, but they are in the schools each day.
Do we get any kind of report as far as for how many have partaken in their services?
Great question. When we met with Ravenwood, that was a request of us, especially from our from Dr. Brisky, is that we want data to be done. We're going to try to do that probably on a monthly basis, and then we will be able to look at that data. But that was discussed. Yes.
I know from experience with working closely with all their counselors in the past, and I don't know if Officer Spencer could speak about this, or Officer Gale, but they're worth every penny. It is a great organization. They really work hard to keep our children. It's a lot of things our children go through, and they work super hard to balance them and make sure that they're having good days. They see a lot of our really troubled children. So every penny, in my viewpoint, but it is expensive.
I'm saying there's at least one person staffed at each school every day, or is it one person that's making rounds through the school?
So, Jen, do you guys know exactly? Yeah, come on up, Dr. Brisky.
So we have somebody at GPS Monday through Friday. We have a counselor, the case manager, who travels between Austinburg and Cork. And so on the time, so they alternate with our school counselors because we share a counselor at Austinburg and Cork. So they alternate. Then we have another caseworker who works at the middle school. She's 4 days a week. And then we have one who's also another part-time who floats. So she'll fill in on like the 1 day a week at the middle school that's not covered, or she'll float over to the GPS to be another hand to assist over there. So it's three FTEs. It's 2 of them are part-time and 1 full-time.
We did have some coverage in the high school.
Yeah, she's at the high school as well. Yeah, I apologize. Yep.
So do the parents have to okay this service? I don't quite understand that. I mean, a kid can just go there and hang out with them and play games and stuff, or I mean, how's the service?
No, so if it's like student might be something happened, perhaps they lost a pet or something happened. So sometimes parents give a heads up, hey, please handle this with care. So there's little kind of like half sheets where parents can send in like ahead of time with their child to give the school a heads up. There might be something going on at home. Some students are on a caseload already. They're kind of established, so they have a rotating time where they go in and they work through whatever is happening. There's established times throughout the week that they are doing this. Some students, it's just, I need a moment. I'm going to come here and have a conversation. I'm going to go back, and you probably won't see that student again. So it varies, right? What Ravenwood has told us is that if it gets to a point where it's a repetitive, then they're going to reach out to the parents. Then there might be something more to initiate. And so that's when contact with parents happens.
Yeah, there is absolute paperwork that has to be filled out from the parents to get back into Ravenwood. I know from experience when I'm like, hey, maybe we should talk to this child. And if the parents do not want Ravenwood to talk to them, then they don't. At least that's been my experience when I was the officer here. They are also involved in a lot of de-escalation within the schools, where they have to try to help calm a child along with everybody else.
Yeah, I guess I just have a problem with subbing it out. I don't see why we can't provide it in-house. I mean, I don't understand what licensing do they have that we can't provide from one of our teachers or employ somebody in-house?
So we have a school counselor in all of our buildings.
We have a counselor
And then they're not providing counseling services. They're not licensed social workers. One person is actually going to school to get her license in social work. She's not licensed at this time. They're case managers. It's vastly different than a counseling role. So that's a fine line. It's kind of like a triage, right? Like, so a student might be feeling something, maybe they're in crisis. That individual is there to either help them process what they're going through or to recommend something more, maybe, right, perhaps there's more that they need, but they're not the person who's going to do that. So they might refer them to a counselor. They might refer them to something a little bit more.
So how long have we been employing Ravenwood then at $141,000 a year to do this service?
This is more this year. When you look at hiring three staff people, with insurance with benefits is probably 75, 80,000 per person
Each,
Yeah. So I mean, for 140,000, we're getting 3 FTEs doing specific work that they specialize in. So it really is a good deal. Be very difficult for a district our size to just hire all of our support services.
And they carry their own insurance with $1 million policy. They make references in the recital postscript 2A, the pre-crisis screening. It exists with brief face-to-face interactions. If emotional outbursts, acting out behavior is briefly evaluated. Previously, there was a right to refuse any type of intervention, which was resulting in soft lockdowns at certain schools. This pre-crisis screening doesn't result in rendering of a diagnosis or anything like that, but it will mitigate a third party that maintains their own insurance and can recommend that a behavioral intervention goes forward. So let's say that my daughter, my beautiful, wonderful Iris, is in 3rd grade and she decides that she's going to start punching everyone. Previously, if you didn't have a licensed person on staff that was able to do a pre-crisis screening or de-escalation tactic, you'd have to do a soft lockdown. No one could touch the kid, and my daughter could continue and punch everyone in the room, which is probably not the best way to learn. This does a few things. One, it takes the teachers who is not a licensed social worker out of it completely. It allows a third party who maintains insurance, social work, carries that liability to intervene, and without doing any type of diagnosis, and it's outlined in this agreement, they're able to render services where they can talk to the parent about, again, a professional referral to someone around here that they should go to. For instance, maybe there's a behavioral processing issue. They can refer to a CBT or a grief issue. They may have in-house network, and then we're not maintaining that liability where we say, oh yeah, go talk to Joe down there. They go, it's horrible. Now we're liable and our insurance kicks in.
And it's like a soft handoff, right? Like they kind of triage it at the building level, and then they reach out to the parents if it warrants that, right? And then ask and encourage them to follow up.
I don't know a school district in the county that don't use these services.
Right.
Does anybody else?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with the services, but I just wonder about, as far as for the budgeting aspect of it at that valuation a year to have somebody to
And
counsel.
we're
kids that are
using
counselors.
we're using funds that are allocated to be used in this way. So it's a very appropriate use of those dollars, and it's a very sound use of those dollars that are meeting the needs of our students in a very specific and appropriate way. And to put the teacher hat on versus a board hat, it's so wonderful to have these professionals at our disposal as an educator, because having these professionals in our building that have these skills allows me to meet the needs of the other 19 children that are in my care, and I can use my school resource officer who can facilitate these other professionals to meet the needs of this little person who doesn't have the words or the behaviors to express what they need. So we can facilitate these other professionals to come in and give them the words and give them the actions that are appropriate, and hopefully mitigate any other behaviors that are going to get them in more trouble, down the road, because they just don't know what to do.
Yeah, so you're out of Chardon. Have we used anybody else that we know of in the past?
So they're actually Ravenwood. We've previously for years used community counseling services. They merged with Ravenwood, so they actually have an office right here in Geneva.
Okay.
They have where their community counseling center headquarters were in Asheville. They're still there. So they just merged
A few months ago.
4 months ago maybe. So they are local. They're
Okay,
not,
good.
they're not coming out of Chardon. That it happens to be where their new
The hub.
headquarters is. Their CEO bops between both offices. So it's still community counseling who we've used for a long time. They're just called Ravenwood now.
And they work all summer long. They have meetings.
They do.
They have group
That's the
meetings.
other piece of it. So while we're all at home, we can still use them and
They were this week running groups
Yes.
at GPS.
And they have an outstanding anti-recidivism rate. So, for instance, someone maybe goes into a deterrent program, and it's a one and done. They go through and they learn coping mechanisms that prevent it, which, as opposed to what we see with, let's say, detention centers, they don't call them YDC anymore, but juvenile facilities that offer in-house, it is night and day. And I know the Ravenwood specifically, and the other is it's an adult facility. I can't remember. It's Glen Bay, maybe. They have amazing success rates, like above 30% the state average, which is incredible.
Thank you so much.
Sounds good.
Any other questions or? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
and Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
All right, 7, we're going to take all these together. This is 25-26 personnel. Additional summer hours, special assignments, substitute, and resignations.
All right, I need a motion, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second. All the way down to 7-4, you said?
Yes, down to 7-4.
All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
and Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
All right, number 8. We got quite a bit in number 8. We're hiring some new teachers. And you'll see a change in assignment. I'm not going to read through them, but we have 8-1, all our extracurriculars, through 8-6.
I need a motion, please.
I move.
Second.
Discussion?
Is the extra
I was gonna say,
0.25 hours, is that because of the change in the school day at the elementary level?
Yes,
Or- okay.
that's correct.
All right. Roll call.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
and Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
All right, number 9, we did take some of these out just due to voting for the board. So the first one's 9.1, hiring of a teacher. Stephanie?
I need a motion, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second. Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cybulski.
Abstain.
All right, 9.2, extracurricular assignments. We pulled this one out as well.
I need a motion, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
and Mr. Pierson.
Abstain.
All right, now we're on to the athletic facility update. If Ryan can come on up. Again.
Thank you for having me. I'll go through. You could go to the next slide, please.
Sure. Oh, that's not what I want to do. All right. Okay, I'm going to pull this out because I don't want to show something I don't want to show. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay. You see that okay? No.
There we go. Yeah, so tonight I'll go through a timeline quickly, just kind of describe the process. This is a process that will take a full year, but we're doing a lot of work really fast up front to get the process started so we can start construction as soon as possible. The main goal with that was to take advantage of late summer, early fall, get some work done this year, and then be able to roll into next year so that we avoid kind of some of those sticky months that are early spring, late winter that are kind of difficult to work in, and really take advantage of the nicer weather that kind of bookends that. So I'll talk about timeline. I'll go through the site plan, kind of where we are with things on the plan. I'll show a concept image, and then I'll be happy to take any questions. So if we could go, there we go. So that's where we are now. We are actually probably about halfway through design. So a lot of that was meeting with community committee members, talking with administration, talking with the folks that have been involved in the process, and really getting an understanding of the different options that we have for placement of the stadium in that parcel of land, how we best do that, take advantage of some of the existing conditions there, and then try to minimize additional costs that are related to moving dirt and having to rework pavements and things like that. So that's really been the goal to date. I think we've come up with a nice plan that I'll share with you in a minute. After that, we're going to be rolling through this next month and a few weeks. We're going to be doing the bulk of the heavy lifting from the design standpoint. So we're got our whole team up, ramped up. We're going to be doing all the engineering that goes along with this process so that as we hit into that July timeframe, end of July, we're getting bidding so that we can start working, late August, early September in that timeframe there. So that's where you're seeing the groundbreaking summer, fall of 26. And at first it will look like not a lot's going on. Then all of a sudden a lot of dirt will move and they'll start doing a lot of work on site. And then over the winter, the colder parts of the winter, it will go dormant a bit as they try to do some work. And then they'll come back in the spring. And that's what you're seeing there. Kind of a reduced amount of activity kind of over those coldest of winter months and then picking up again in the spring so that we get that ribbon cutting for the 2027 year, which is going to be fantastic. So this is where we are with the plan. So it is very difficult for me to stand down here and not point at everything. But can people hear me if I talk really loud? If I walk up there?
You could take the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Take the mic with you.
It helps
Look
capture
at
for
you.
the recording. too.
There you go. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll walk around. is just extremely difficult for me to talk without pointing at things. So what you see here, over here is where the school sits. This is the primary drive that comes along the east side of the school site. There's a parking lot here. Up in that corner up there on the top left, you're seeing softball, and then there's a cross drive that comes across and loops back out to the road down in this location. This is that big swath of trees here. So as you can see here, we're sitting just slightly tilted so that it's going to be running from the southwest to the northeast. The way the site is situated, this is the home side, this is the visitor side, and we've got a couple access points that I'll go through here real quickly. So first, you have a big parking lot that's down here to the south. There's a primary sidewalk that goes across the front of the school. We would be adding some crosswalk and connector over in this location that would allow access to a gate area down here that would allow visitors to park kind of down in this area and get over to visitor stands at this location. And then up on the top up there, that's another big swath of parking to the north side of the site. We have a couple of crossing points up at the north. The lower one that you see at the bottom of this kind of loop piece, that bottom one connects to the sidewalk that runs along the north side of the school. So people could come out of the school or come down that parking lot and walk along that path, cross safely, and get over to the site. There you go. And then that northern part of the loop, that goes out to that secondary parking lot that's up in that location. To the north up there, we are proposing a crossing that will go over towards softball. So over in that location to the left, just a smidge right there. So that gets people from this portion of the site back over to the grassy area to the north. And then you see that long gray rectangle there. Up that we are proposing as an alternate would be essentially a pull-off for buses so they could do drop-offs in that location. So as you come onto the site, we're going to have a perimeter fence that's going to run all the way around the outside of the stadium. This is going to be 6-foot high fence, chain link fence, black vinyl coated. Look really nice, be real classy. That contains the site and allows you to control access to that site as necessary. There would be gates at the primary entrances and then one more additional gate up at the north end of the stadium that would allow during a track meet for people to go from the track area to the throws, which would happen in the grassy area to the north up there. Exactly. And so as you move back down here on the site, your primary kind of entrance plaza would be located in that top northwest corner. You would essentially have, like your first building would be a ticket building, which would have a small concession stand and a couple of family restrooms. This is not part of the initial project currently. This is something that we're planning for. We're making sure we have room for this. We're making sure we have utilities for this. So if we are so fortunate that pricing comes out good and we're able to proceed with that, we want to be able to do that. Off of that, we've got a couple of placeholders. Let's see, one there and one right there. Those two rectangles represent additional concessions, so a bigger concession stand, and then locker room or larger restrooms that would help support the rest of the facility. So then talking about the stadium itself. So I'll start with just talking about the track. The track is going to be top notch. It's going to be asphalt base underneath all the track surfaces. This would be a synthetic track system like you'll see at every high school stadium in the region. And then you'll have artificial turf in here with all the drainage that goes along with these systems. We'll be able to stripe this in a way that you can do multiple sports without having to restripe it. That's a very important feature. And then you'll have the built-in elements like your goalposts and things of that nature so that it's functional and it works very effectively so that you minimize the amount of like transition and changes that take place for various events. The home bleachers are located up here, and kind of the concept, we went back and forth. This is 1,200 seats, so this could be divided up in a bunch of different ways. You could do one big bleacher, you could do a long bleacher, a short bleacher, you could do a bunch of different things with it. And so what we looked at was, let's be efficient. Let's serve a lot of purposes with this bleacher and get the most bang for the buck out of this thing. So essentially there are two sections in the middle that center on the 50-yard line. Those two sections would be your primary spectator seats. So that'd be parents and visitors and just general fans from the area of the home team, good team. They'd be sitting in that area there, and directly behind that is the press box that runs along the back. This section is one that we talked about quite a bit, and this is the student and band section. So we talked about the unique experience of being in high school, what that means, the camaraderie, the ability to go to an event and really get in a fit with the rest of your fans and your friends, and do it in a way that's kind of an experience. So by creating this student section, this band section, I think we've done that. That's something we're going to be able to brand that, add different colors to that piece, make it look a little different. So the student experience is different and unique and fun, hopefully. Off of that, we'll have ramps and all the access points that you'll need to get up into those stands and make it a safe, friendly experience. Beneath this, so this bleacher system, I think I described it very early on in the whole process. There's really two ways to do it. There's the kind of tinker toy sort of way where you build all these frames and you put them underneath and it's like trusses in a house. And then there's an I-beam system where it's got big structural steel and it's clear open underneath. This bleacher will be the big clear open one. So we'll have space underneath that. So if you need to get your hurdles out of the way, you can move them under there, protect them from the weather a little bit. It's not weatherproof, but it's weather better than having them exposed. So you'll have some ability to get some stuff out of the weather, and there'll be kind of a back access way for people to walk back behind the bleachers. So again, fans could probably get out of the weather a little bit too if they needed to. Then as you come around the stadium, again, there'll be a kind of a collector walkway that goes around the outside. This would be nice asphalt walk like you'd see in a parkway or something of that nature, with a 4-foot fence in between the track and that walkway. So again, fans could kind of stand around the outside edge during a football game or a soccer game or something like that. But you do have that separation between the two. So as the visitors come along here, this is unique. Not everybody has this, but we're proposing the long jumps in front of the visitor bleachers. I think this is a really nice feature. Did I break it? I think this is a really nice feature in that a lot of times your field events get kind of pushed into corners, get pushed out of the way. This gives us an opportunity to kind of showcase that in a way that is going to be kind of unique to you. So you'll be able to have your long jumps here, your visitors back here with that fence kind of separating the two and providing access. This would be that aluminum framed, angle frame type system. So that'd be the trussy kind of tinker toy style feature. And then last but not least, you will have your stadium lights around the site. Those will provide nice coverage for the fields. I've had people ask me a lot, what's it take to light the whole track? It takes a lot of money. So really, most stadiums in the area, they provide general illumination around, but it's not something where you're providing, event style lighting outside of the grass area. So the grass area will be your kind of feature lit area in that space. And trying to think I missed anything. I think those are the big features. We've talked about stormwater quite a bit. That's been a conversation that's come up. We've got a couple ways of handling that. One of the ways is potentially storage in the turf system itself. So there's a way you can thicken up the system, provide more stone in that system to allow water storage within the turf area. The other one is expanding your existing basin. It's a nice big feature on the site, and there's a potential to save some money by possibly doing that. So we're exploring those methods. We're gonna have meetings with the city and municipalities to talk through some of these concepts and then arrive ultimately at the one that's most cost effective and safest and easiest to maintain long term. So, any questions?
Where do you see the pole vault?
I'm sorry?
Pole vault?
Pole vault is down here. It's down on that end, and then you've got high jump at this location.
And the mixture of the band and the students.
Yep.
Is there clear separation between them? Like, are you making?
Presently, there isn't, but we could
So
very
it's still
easily.
bleachers?
It is, and it's something too where I was kind of visualizing band probably down lower with most of the student section behind it. We have ADA seating implemented into the bleachers on both sides, and that does provide some clearance. Not all of those seats get taken up generally, and we've provided additional ADA spaces on the home side in the student section specifically, so that you do have more room if you needed to bring drums up or something of that nature, you have space up there where you could set stuff as well.
Ryan, that's about 400 seats there.
Yep, 400 per section. There's 3 sections.
That's a lot of seats.
Yeah, so we're just, to be completely clear, we're just shy of the 1,200. I think we're at 1187 or something like that. So it's, yeah.
Now that bottom entrance area, is that going to be gated?
Yes.
Because how are we going to ticket it if you're?
We've talked about that. This is you could shut it down, but if you have it open, we are looking at, there are prefabricated units that you can get, small ticket booths. We're looking at that as an option, as an alternate, that we could put something like that down there. I always set up a table, but you would need somebody to operate that ticket booth.
Safety concerns and everything too. I mean, it'd be nice to keep everybody funneling through the main entrance area.
If you have big events, it's nice to have 2. If you have rival schools, it's always nice to have 2.
When the event lets out, it'd be nice to open a gate or something to alleviate some flow. But
So, and this is something to, depending on the sport, depending on the matchup, depending on the season, depending on the weather, there's variations as to how a facility operates most effectively. And so that's something that we'll make recommendations. We'll put a lot of stuff in place so that you have flexibility to adjust. So if you have a super big crowd, we have gates all the way around this thing. You can get out of it pretty quickly. We've provided this big kind of circulation around the outside so you can get people in and out very, very quickly. Drop off areas to help, provide easy access in those ways as well. So it's about providing this function, and then you just kind of tune it to the specific event. So
as far as the lighting goes, are we doing RGB lights and having different lighting strips and stuff like throughout the grandstands and different things? Are we incorporating?
Presently, we don't have them in the grandstands themselves. We do have the pole lights. We're talking through the lighting options as we go. Some of these things, there's going to be the things you need, and those are going to be built into the base bid project. And there's going to be other stuff that we want. And so we're going to have alternates built onto this so that we can say, we want this feature. It'd be a really nice feature. It's got $1 associated with it. And if we get the price and it looks good and we're happy with it and we're on budget, then we go ahead and take some of these. So we want to build in some flexibility to kind of jump on both sides of that budget to make sure we're protecting the budget, but we also don't shortchange ourselves and we're able to buy some of these things if we're fortunate.
Have you ever incorporated pyrotechnics before?
No, have not done that. No.
I know Madison, they do.
No, I have not even had that request in the past. So it is something we could look into if that's something you're interested
I think
in.
it's something that I would definitely love to have, especially for our opening ceremony when teammates are running out and then when we get a touchdown.
Oh yeah, we work in Willoughby, and that cannon was just going off when Kareem Hunt used to play for Willoughby South. You'd hear it just booming at night, and
That's
so
yeah.
I used to live in Cleveland Heights. They would do that. Citizens would do that for you.
That might happen. You can't incorporate it.
The shot and disc rings, have they been discussed about moving them on this side? It doesn't appear to be.
We tried multiple iterations, and even if we had oriented this directly north-south, this is just so pinched, especially with the topography over here. And you can see that discus, the center kind of triangle there, that's your actual throw zone where you're supposed to be landing the discus. I threw discus and I'd land outside of that quite a bit. And so that you have these buffers to the sides, that overthrow is the problem. And so as you're trying to place it here, as you're trying to place it down here, all these variations that we had, it just kept coming up that those areas would be going towards bleachers and walkways.
Currently, I would think, though, by far.
I'm sorry?
That looks way closer than the Spire.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, the connection, I'm really happy with how the north end laid out in the sense that if you have coaches that are trying to get back and forth between the two or athletes, it's just a nice, quick little jaunt. When I used to throw, we'd have to go clear across town to find the discus area. So,
yeah, I like the way, because I know that we talked about that a ton.
Yep.
And I like the way it connects at the top there. That is a nice compromise, because it was hard. We tried to put that in there.
Are we clearing the hillside also? Or
no,
the trees and that?
no, that's not part of the plan currently. So
We want to keep them there for erosion purposes anyway, right?
this section here with the scrub brush, especially, that's a pretty steep section of the hill. If you don't have that, then we'd have to look at some sort of something to help prevent that from eroding. It is this, you can see all this through here, that's topography. So each one of those lines represents a foot of rise, and I think most of it's a 2-to-1 slope. So it's pretty steep. Yeah,
because we're gonna get a ton
Trees
of
are
leaf
great.
litter and tree debris and stuff on our brand new field, and hopefully we make sure we get any trees that can possibly compromise and hit any of our bleachers or anything will be removed.
Yeah, we're in a situation here where we do have one advantage in that the stadium is north and west-ish of most of everything. It's when it's on the other side that it becomes a bigger problem. But yeah, you'll still have leaves, you'll still have stuff that will blow on it, and it is still something that will need some maintenance.
Yeah, so we have to look and probably definitely getting that removed, I would think. We'll just do a green hill like we have there currently. Just a grass hill.
The trees are beautiful.
Trees are very nice.
We don't want to have that many trees there. It's just that corner. And the rest
Yeah,
of it's already the sled
down
riding
in here.
area.
Yep.
Well, yeah, the sled riding hills.
But any of those trees will fall and hit our fences and track and everything else and be illegality to run and track while you got trees towering over you.
Other questions on the plan? I do have a rendering after this, if you want to look at that.
Good, yeah.
So this is essentially a 3-dimensional of what you were seeing there. And you can see the colors aren't determined. I just threw your colors on there. But the concept of having a student section that has a little more pop to it, a little bit of flavor to it on that one side, and then the bulk of the bleachers to the right of that. You can see how the pathways all kind of connect everything and provide some space for additional features and structures in the future. The lights, the fencing around the perimeter, and then obviously the long jumps in that area. Connections across the street to the throws as well.
We're planning on taking the spoiled material that we're going to remove the topsoil and that. Where we planning on putting that at?
So some of that gets reused. We have not talked about losing it somewhere on site yet. We haven't gotten to that point in the conversation. If we're able to lose that soil somewhere nearby or on site, you save money.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, across the road right there, there's a couple wet spots.
Mhm. Yeah, if we're able to pick that up, we'll have probably some clays and things like that too, that if we have low spots across the campus or somewhere else that we need to pick up at one of your other areas, we could look at that as well. We are reaching that point. Like, all of this has been about making the pretty picture and the concept. And now we're about the point of where we're taking all this and we're doing that. We're talking about the dirt. We're talking about, the electrical service and all those sorts of things to make sure that we get all the infrastructure in correctly.
See all that greenery there to the north and northeast. I mean, it'd almost be nice if we can do more parking or like another bus pull-off lane or something that can come off the main drive there.
And you could pave some of that. I was thinking like the easiest thing to do would be head-end parking along that whole edge. You could do that very effectively and cost effectively. But that's something, again, base project that wasn't included in the base project. So that is something that we can plan for though. And it's very easy to do.
Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't. We're just wasting. It's just green area. That's just going to be a maintenance headache, versus a usable parking area.
Because the base plan and the budget only allowed us to do so much. So this is what we planned for with the funds that we have.
It's all going to get tore up anyways, though.
We're still planning on using that area for rec soccer.
No, I'm saying we're running machinery and excavating and putting in sidewalks and stuff. That whole green area you're looking at right there will be stripped down to nothing. So you're going to actually truck in material again, topsoil, build it back up, then plant grass.
And I just want to make sure, you're just talking about the area between the parking lot and this sidewalk here, that green space, and then the area
Correct.
just on the other side.
That's
I don't want people thinking we're talking about
No,
north
yeah,
of the
not
road.
across the road.
North
No,
of
it's
the
all
road.
on this side.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you meant north.
No,
of the road.
but I'm saying all that area.
I could
there is
kinda
gonna get
sense
stripped
there was a
down,
little
so
bit of-
we're-
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
not just
no.
pave it instead of hauling in topsoil?
Yeah.
And, actually use it as parking or a bus get off area, bus staging area.
Yeah, and we've done it too, where you have some overflow. We've done even gravel in some cases if budget is tight.
Yeah, it's that tight. Yeah.
Having a berm along that edge is never a bad thing. Berm being like a stone base along the edge of the asphalt, it helps protect your asphalt as well. So there are a lot of advantages to it.
Because the whole drive, we'll be repaving that anyways after the project's over. So it really
Yeah.
isn't that big of a cost, I would think.
Yeah, this
Pave a little more.
this is Northeast Ohio. We're paving all the time up
Oh,
here. So yeah, it's just go to Arizona once in a while and you get out there and you're just like, you haven't paved in 20 years. And it's just, I'm so jealous. Yeah. It's crazy. Any other questions on the site? Hopefully everybody's really excited. I mean, this is going to be something that's just going to be fantastic when you get all the students out there and you're sitting in this bowl and you got the roar up against those trees and you got your fans on your site, on your campus.
Fireworks going on.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be real cool. So any other questions? All right. Well, yeah, I really appreciate the time.
You have a start date in mind still?
Yes, it is kind of that end of August, early September was kind of the timeline for construction start.
Nice. Last time I heard September, so now I heard August. Nice. Keep it
Oh
coming.
yeah, right now would be a good time. Drop the
All right.
dozers off.
Well, thank you all so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you so
Ryan.
No, thank you.
Is there anything else you need me for? I'm going to try to go home.
No, I think we're good.
I'm going to try to get to the end of that.
No, I appreciate you coming, Ryan.
Thank you
Thanks
all
for
so much.
everything.
Have a great rest.
Bye, Ryan.
You too. All right, next is our Family Resource Center update with Joe and Julie. Come on up.
Going from athletics to the resource center, the house. Come on.
House on the hill.
The house on the hill.
Well, good evening, Madam President, members of the board. Thank you for having us this evening. We'll spend a little bit of time. We left at your seats tonight a brief summary of things. We've been busy recently, and we intend to provide you some updates about where we've been, what we've been doing. Most recently, in fact, yesterday, we had previously interviewed 3 agencies, healthcare agencies, to be the primary partners. We talked with them. We talked with them again last week, and we provided to them this week an RFP for them to submit to us, to the district, for services to be rendered once the house opens. So we're that far down the road as far as that process goes. Also this week, or last week, I should say, Friday last week, we met with the architectural firm, actually same architectural firm you're using for the athletic complex, then design, or TDA. We met with them and we looked at the most updated renderings, the most updated drawings. You have 2 of the 3 options. And one of the things we wanted to talk to you tonight about, and we will send this because we just received actually during this meeting, the 3rd option from the architects. We had asked them, one of the things, and you may recall your options, is I'll call it the great room in the house was to be used as a community space. As the drawings came out, both option 1 and option 2, it came out to space that you could fit about 15 people comfortably in there. Not bad, but not what we think you had in mind. So we asked them for a 3rd option. And the 3rd option, I want to have you visualize this, and we will send this to Dr. Lombardo. He will then send it to you, I'm sure. But the garage space can be converted into a large group space, along with part of that great room, if you will, to about triple the size of the large group space. Then use part of the great room as your storage area. You may recall the original plan was to use the garage as storage, okay? And with not a whole lot of change as far as expense and cost goes, actually probably none, we can heat that garage and create a bigger space in there. So that will be option 3 that you will see probably in the next few days, right? We'll get it to you as soon as we possibly can. So that's one of the things that is new since we last talked. Something else that's new since we last talked from a funding perspective, tomorrow afternoon, Julie and I are meeting with the Robert S. Morrison Foundation. We had submitted a grant proposal to them literally months ago. I was talking about this before the meeting, and I kept on contacting them and asking if they needed more information. Well, they got back to me, and tomorrow we will be presenting our grant proposal to them at 3:30 in the afternoon, and that would be the president of their trustees and their executive committee. Then they will take the proposal the very next day to their trustees to make a decision about funding. So we should know about funding from the Morrison Foundation I'm going to jump and take a guess as we approach July 4th, either right before the July 4th holiday or just thereafter. Okay. And to give you an idea, and can't guarantee anything, can't guarantee you 55 cents right now from them, but we did make a request of $250,000 from them. They have been enthusiastic about the project. I don't know where this will come back, if it'll come back. And so I don't want to get you really excited, but we do have that coming up just in the next 24 hours, actually. So we'll be talking to those folks there. Did you want to cover timeline or shall I? Okay. From a timeline perspective, Then Design gave us a new timeline, a different timeline based on what they're seeing as far as the renovation of the house goes. Few issues in the house that they've seen thus far, but one of the issues they see in the house is a complete rebuild of the electrical. Okay, the electrical is pretty old. It's pretty out of code. Could be a significant issue. But they've worked that into their price and their timeline. But that has backed things off rather substantially. So we have two options. And actually, Dr. Lombardo and his team met with our attorney was that yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was.
Thanks, Shelley. Met with the attorneys yesterday, and we have two options from which to choose. One is a design bid build option, which means Then Design would do all of the work and they would find all of the general contractor and so forth. The downside of design bid build may be that they find a general contractor that Dr. Lombardo would have to then approve every other contract. The other option is a construction manager at risk. Okay, and that's probably, I'm going to take a stab and say that's probably the direction you went with the athletic facility. When we built in the past, we used the construction manager at risk. The construction manager at risk will move the process and the timeline along faster, okay, and it assures the district that the construction manager takes care of all the subcontractors, takes care of everybody who's getting paid, takes care of making sure that everybody's on track, on time, and building along. While it's a decision that you will make, if I were making a recommendation to you, I would say a construction manager at risk is probably your best option. This is obviously not a big project, okay, but it's an important project. What we want to make sure is that it gets done right. So this would push the timeline out several more months than we had anticipated. And they're still working through the construction details of that. At the last time we met, you had talked a little bit about using that space as a board office at one point, and did you need an elevator, and that increased the cost. The architects have a solution to that that's a very reasonable cost, and that's a lift solution. Inclusive in the drawings so up front, you'll have parking. You'll have parking for about 4 or 5 cars, anticipating the folks working in the center, if you will. And then in the back, they have set up parking for 15 to 17 cars, including handicap. So you'll have adequate parking going back through there. They have done a few things differently since we last talked about the front of the building. I know one of the things Dr. Lombardo talked about is he wanted it to be a little more aesthetically pleasing. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. And they've made a couple of changes. And if you could imagine the front of the space, instead of having the 2 entries, they will block off that entry that goes into the great room, if you will, or living room, whatever you want to call it. That'll be blocked off. There'll be some aesthetically more pleasing front of the building, facade of the building, and the main entrance will become that area that goes into what you would call a breezeway right now, which will go into reception. There will still be a downstairs entrance walkout for things that we may put down there. You will notice that in option 2, they actually flipped it and put the pantry up and the services down. Those are decisions yet to be made, but those are decisions that we probably need to make, I would say sometime in July. Fair to say, Shelley, when you have your numbers picked up. So with that, Jewel, unless I forgot something, we'll answer your questions.
Is there a septic system there, or is that city sewer?
They have identified the septic, and they identified the septic, if you will, to the left. If you're looking at the building, to the left of where the parking lot will be, so the septic and the parking will not have there won't be an issue related to those. It took them a while to find septic. I guess that's a pretty old space, and it took them a few weeks.
Lines would be where you guys want to
Yeah,
park
they
vehicles
did
at,
finally
so-
identify it though.
And there is a tie-in up at the top there that Jared has been in contact with the city on that too.
Nice.
To be able to tie right in.
And what kind of electric service are you trying to put there at that house? And
You're
what's-
asking the wrong guy.
Let's say,
The-
well, what, I mean, you're talking about doing what, a half dozen different rooms kind of deal is what you're almost looking at?
Yeah, about a half dozen different rooms. Right now, the service is pretty antiquated, so they'll update it. A couple of things they'll need: requirement for the lab, and there will be a lab. And of course, with the lab will come vaccination coolers and refrigerators and so forth. There has to be a generator that is built into it, and it's got to be built into the electrical system. That's a requirement of law.
Have we got any kind of, or anybody reached out for any kind of estimates or quotes for any local? We're surrounded by a lot of local awesome electrical companies.
And that's what Then Design's doing, and those will be decisions that we make or you make, if you will. If you were to go construction manager at risk, he'll be collecting those bids, and the recommendation that we would make is that you make those decisions. The construction manager at risk lives with those decisions. We had a very similar circumstance and situation. We used as many local contractors as possible because that's just good business and good for the community.
Paul, is that hookup, the one Sergeant Grenier brought to our attention, or did you talk to somebody in the city? My understanding is Sergeant Grenier ran some sewage out there. He did a lot of the project here. He was one of the contractors. There may be something out in the corner, and I'll see
There
if
is
I can-
something out in the corner. And so Jared talked to the gentleman from the city. I forgot his name who actually put that in.
Okay, so that has to be searched. Okay.
So it's the city. I'm sorry. I
So
don't
it
remember.
would be a lot nicer if we could abandon the septic system and tie into the
Yes.
city sewer system.
For sure. You'd almost have to if you're going to build back there.
That would do, yeah.
Luckily, we have 2 8-inch tie-ins for the sewer that go straight to 84, and from what I've been told, they can handle about 2 residential
You
districts
can't dump
worth of
you
sewage.
can't dump sewer into that. My tomato plants are downstream. I don't want sewer in that.
I mean, I don't know a lot about sewers, but I got a sewer guy. He seems pretty well in the know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
both
Okay.
very,
Thank you
very
so
much.
Okay.
And all the work you're doing. I appreciate it.
I will simply add this. About a month ago, Mrs. Krieg, Dr. Lombardo, Julie, and I went and presented to the Geneva City Council, and I think they're as enthusiastic, perhaps, as you are at this possibility. And I would say that the vendors who we've sent RFPs to, they all want the job. So it puts you in a great position from the standpoint of making that selection.
Lots of great feedback from that.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you both very much.
Thank you all. I think we can.
All right.
Go enjoy
Yes.
the sunshine.
They don't want us around here.
All right, report of the treasurer. First up, we do have the May financial report. So we'll need a motion in a second.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
So the report in front of you is 11 months out of the 12, based upon, again, it does compare it to the forecast. On that first page, real quick, you can see right now we are unfavorable to the forecast, about $177,000 out of a $30 million budget. So I don't think that's shabby on general fund there. It will change a little bit as we get further on in the agenda. My transfers are a little understated in the forecast, not knowing exactly where we would end up with the second year of CEP for the lunchroom for the transfers, a little bit higher than I had thought. Again, last year they still had some funds. We did not have to transfer anything at all. I didn't know coming into it we would have to, and we'll kind of talk about that when we get to that point. But other than that, like I said, it's kind of right on track on what the forecast stated. Final numbers will go in. This will be rolled over, and then in August again, you will get your a new forecast for the next year.
Excellent.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah.
Thanks
So-
for making this so easy to read.
Any other questions? Next month will be fun.
Yes.
All right. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
and Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Moving on to some donations. Did you want to do those?
So we do have some donations that we need to approve.
So moved.
I'll second. Or, go ahead.
We did start a new scholarship, was started this year for Joe Hurisco. So we had original donation of $500, and at the nth hour, the day before the scholarship assembly, we had another $1,500 donated. So we would like to thank the individuals for that. Also on Saturday, we did receive
Ooh, a big check.
a nice donation at the grand opening of Phantom Fireworks for $5,000 towards the athletic complex. They did kind of want it designated. They did choose on seeing our brochure, a windscreen, which will go behind the stadium again. So, we have that paid for per se, but it was a wonderful event that we went to. They also had a donation for the fire department and the police department. So we were happy, Mrs. Krieg and Dr. Lombardo and I and Mr. Andrus, and Mr. Cooper was there in a different capacity, but we
Yeah,
were
I
there
was
to
They
see the
should-
ribbon cutting and some nice little antics between the Cavaliers mascot and the Phantom Fireworks mascot.
Can we have a motion, please?
All motion.
We got that.
Oh, did we?
Oh, we
Yeah,
already
okay. All right. Roll call?
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
and Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Okay, and so 12.3 will be the transfer of funds. So we need a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
So at the end of each fiscal year, we go through and we cannot have our funds in a negative balance overall. Sometimes there are different special cost centers in each fund, but overall it cannot be negative. We do transfer high school athletics every year. Mrs. Crossley, is very good at keeping in the allotted amount that we would like to transfer every year. So she is right on task with that amount. So we have been busy making sure all of her bills have been paid. Any kind of encumbrance we know, is a true bill that needs to be paid. So we will have an athletic transfer of $104,608.31. In the past, we do keep track of band transportation through the athletic fund. No money ever comes into that account. It's kind of just our way to keep track, and we do cover those expenditures out of the general fund. That was up actually a few $1,000s from last year. I think, it also depends on, first of all, where the band is going to and cost of fuel and who's driving the bus. But again, that's $8,481.58. The lunchroom, again, we've been very busy to making sure everything's being paid, that we could get paid, cleared up any kind of encumbrance that we did not need. We closed those out. So we did have to transfer $184,709.83 to give that a positive balance. Also, it will leave the positive balance that are in the students' accounts. There's about $10,000. So when the June report comes out, that account will have a positive $10,000 in it. But again, we do have to account for every student who does have a positive balance on their lunch account. Again, this is the first time. The account did start out with 50,000 in it. So we kind of did deficit spend, 225,000. But again, as talked about, when we went CEP, we knew this would happen, but our disadvantaged pupil impact aid that we do get through the state did increase $1.2 million going CEP. So again, we gain a lot and we might lose a little bit, but what we can do with those DPIA funds, again, covers the cost with Ravenwood, covers the additional costs that we can do this resource center. So those are all allowable expenses with, this option. And again, it does offer free lunch and breakfast to every student in the district.
That's great.
Excellent.
That will continue next year.
Correct.
Yes.
We are utilizing that again.
3 more years, Joe.
3
more years.
So this is a grant given to us by the government
It's-
to spend.
It's part of our foundation. So yes,
It's not a cost on our local taxpayers. It's more it's allocated from a
correct.
state.
This is from
standpoint.
So every month, twice a month, I get money in from the state of Ohio through through ODU, and then every school district gets a little bit of disadvantaged people impact aids that are restricted. Again, ours did jump up immensely when we went to a CEP district, which meant basically all of our schools are now title districts, shows lower income, but again, it does bring in more funds. And they have changed the statutes on schools that, if they want to go CEP now, they're not getting the impact of those additional funds like we did 2 years ago.
Any other questions?
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
and Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
Okay, next we have the final and 12.4. Those are the final appropriations for the 25-26 school year. And then this will be going to the county auditor to approve to make sure that it does not exceed the official estimate of certificate of resources. And again, that is attached on there so you can see that.
I need a motion, please.
I move. Second.
So what I kind of do is I go through, the only thing that will be a little bit less on there is the encumbrances will be taken down from that. That is the max amount, but still with that max amount of what that is today, those will be taken. If we had to spend all the money that are in encumbrances in the general fund today, we'd still be within regulations on our estimated certificate. So per the forecast, I do have about $600,000 in outstanding invoices that we don't have paid. So we set aside, we have to set aside that money that promises to pay these invoices that we just haven't gotten in time. So we do have a lot of blankets out there at the current time. Makes it easier for us to purchase things for the district. And then those will all be closed prior to the end of the fiscal year when we know that there are no expenditures against those blankets.
Any questions?
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Cooper,
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
and Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
Okay, 12.5 temporary appropriations to begin spending for this year.
I need a motion, please.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so every June, we also pass a fiscal year for the next fiscal year, 27 temporary appropriations. What this does is until we can get our certificate in with our final appropriations of what we're going to spend the full year, this kind of covers like the first 3 months of the year till our final numbers are put into this to the county and they can approve them. So we will have temporaries, and then in September we will have a permanent appropriations for the full 12 months. But again, this gives us authority to start spending on July 1st before the county has our final numbers. So the general fund, I did take to about a fourth of our expenditures just to be on the safe side. Some of the grants, again, we don't know when they'll come in, so those might be a little bit higher, some of the full amounts. But again, they'll all kind of be overwritten when the permanents come through in September.
Okay. Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
And Mr. Pierson.
Yes.
Okay, 12.6, we do approve all the new grants that we've gotten approved for so far this year.
So moved.
Second.
So as you can see, the money that has come in so far for all of our title funds, our IDEA and our early childhood, I can't think of the word, special needs, I should say. That's about $10,000. So each of those, in the past, we have always combined our title accounts, our Title II and our Title IV into Title I. So again, Mrs. Chabi and I are going to start working on getting these grants approved so we can start using them on July 1st. And so we'll weigh whether we want to keep them, transfer them all into Title I or keep them separate. But these are the amounts that we've been given so far. We do have kind of a question for our Title V. Last year, Title V, we were awarded about $67,000. And this year I have an adjustment of $1,300. So I think we still are looking into why we weren't awarded an original amount. Now, this was the first time we've gotten this grant in a while.
Okay.
Title V is rural, but again, that's something we're looking into, and hopefully we can, get some more money.
Perfect.
And I know from the legislative reports that there had been some type of miscalculation that the Senate is considering. I'll cover it in the legislative report, but they are looking to spread more Title I funds to schools, and I'm sure, Shelley, you've already seen the erroneous thing that they did, which basically shifted it off of rural to like an income based, and so they need to shift it back to being rural.
Any other questions?
Is everything else pretty much in line with what we've gotten in the past?
It is.
All right. Roll call.
Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Mrs. Krieg.
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski.
Yes.
Mr. Pierson.
Yep.
And Mr. Andrus.
Yes.
Legislative report, Mr. Pierson.
So the legislative activity is going to be suspended. The House and Senate basically wrapped up before their recess for the summer, and changed one of the bills we have that was dealing with radiology, House Bill 479, and turned it into a budget cleanup bill. Basically, as Mrs. McDermott had pointed out, there was a lot of non-clarity to what type of reductions were going to be given with these tax breaks. For instance, your inside millage is typically guaranteed by living in a specific place. Our state rep refers to it as unvoted millage, whereas outside millage is voted millage. They have clarified they want to get rid of the inside millage and reduce that income before the outside millage. It also requires the County Budget Commission to calculate the reduction based on inflation and taxes charged, payable before any taxable reduction. Now it's changed to all reductions. I think there's going to be some challenges to that, but basically it's changes to the 20 mil floor. The additional amendments that are going to impact us are all fiscal based. You're typically going to see those in the treasurer's report. But they're funds that can be used to reimburse local government for 1-year property tax credits. It includes a 12-month time frame for the Ohio Tax Commission to review and approve applications for exemptions using the TIF formulas. And it permits owners of certain enterprise zones to apply within 12 months of the 90-day effective date for an abatement of delinquent property taxes, kind of like what we saw here.
And then it has a few other strange provisions, one of them being you can build a school anywhere, even if it's on a prior EPA declared site or inside of a personal or residential neighborhood. You can put a school there now. So then Ohio basically exited making any bills. The other bills that came through don't really affect us. Most of them are, it's not considered a vacancy when if a board member is in the service, they have to be called. There's a few bills that are going to be probably pushed towards December. So I'm going to keep my eyes on those, but most of them are about tax appropriations. And right now there's still that challenge is the voucher schools are appealing a decision that states the state's revisions to allow any state money to follow the vouchers is unconstitutional. It looks unlikely to survive at this point. So the state's trying to get creative in ways that they can try to keep that alive. So really, we're going to be looking at the 20 mil floor on-off button until that's decided. So we're probably going to see like Title V funds. And then I saw they don't call our Title III funds Title III funds. They just designate them in DPIA for now because that's been in a holding pattern. So we're going to keep our eyes on the designation of what funds are considered inside millage and what contributes to that inside millage as we go forward. That's all I have.
Sweet. All right. ATEC reports. Looks like summer activities. They have the GRIT programs. ATEC summer GRIT programs are underway on campus with welding, the CNA and aviation programs. It says that they've had good feedback from participants. The ACMI camp, which stands for the Ashtabula County Manufacturing Institute, and STEM camps will be held at ATEC. The week-long day camps cost only $35 and include daily lunch, a t-shirt, and transportation for field trips. Camps are open to incoming 5th through 8th graders and run weekly through July. So July 13th through 17th, there is the Mad Scientist Camp, and that is for our ladies only, girls only, rising 5th and 6th graders. July 20th through 24th, they have the Robotics and Automation Camp. That's co-ed and for rising 5th and 6th graders. July 27th through 31st is the Food and Agricultural Production, and that is co-ed, rising 5th and 6th graders. July 27th through 31st is the Future Tech Camp, and that's also co-ed, rising 7th and 8th graders. These programs are a fantastic way for students to complete hands-on engineering projects and tour local businesses. The June ATEC board meeting is at 10 a.m. Looks like tomorrow morning. So that's what's happening at ATEC. And then we have board member reports. Does anybody have anything for, did you want to write those dates down? Yeah. Board member reports?
I got several emails regarding adding extra coaches. I just want to let the folks know I appreciate those emails. We have a structure to maintain our budget, and I'm going to have to support that. Coaching has always been an issue here. We're always undermanned coach. We are a budget tightened community, and we have to adhere to that. I know we've lost a lot of great coaches. I myself have volunteered for many, many assignments, and I appreciate those emails, but we do have to maintain our budget. So, but thank you for letting us know. That's all I have.
So for me, I attended graduation, which was lovely. Got to have graduation with Mrs. Cybulski. Lots of wonderful kids graduating this year. So it was wonderful, great class speakers. They did a beautiful job. Mrs. Markajon did a fantastic job. She just organizes that, and every year I marvel at all the things that she puts together and how seamlessly it all goes off. And this year I get to see the junior side of it with Julia and all of the prep on the. It just cracks me up, but it was so funny, all the program folding and the the chair
Seal
stacking,
stamping.
the seal stamping, and the diploma prepping. And I said, you will enjoy the fruits of your labor next year. So, but it was very interesting to see both sides of it. I wanted to just thank everybody that had a part in putting together the student handbooks and the admin handbooks, because I know, and I know Mr. Pierson can attest to this, when we came onto the board, those admin handbooks were a lot. And I know that was a project, so thank you so much for taking that on and cleaning those up. Huge props to all of you for the work on the Family and Resource Center. I know that I can't wait to push something out so the community can see what's going on in that house. I've had a lot of people ask me, and I've kind of pumped the brakes and not pushed anything out there yet, because I'm not sure if we're ready to do that as a district. But I know that people are going to be so excited to see what we're going to be able to provide to the community, and same for the athletic facility. I'm so excited to push something out about that. Maybe tonight will be the night that I push something out about that on social, since it was at a board meeting, but just so excited for all the things that are happening in our district. And then I wanted to share a little bit about, I did receive emails regarding coaches as well. And we are a district that has relied heavily on the heart and spirit of the volunteer here in Geneva. And we've been blessed to have a lot of great people with a lot of great talent that volunteer and coach. I know our kids have had Mr. Cooper as a coach for many a year. I know my husband has coached as a volunteer for a long time. I volunteer coached. I know that we want to keep great people here, but we can only, and Officer Gale's looking at me, I know he's volunteer coached a lot. So it's just one of those things that we have to wait to see what we've got coming in particular seasons before we just grab and hire people just so we can say we did. So we definitely heard and read your emails in their entirety, and we hear what you're saying, and we can appreciate your candor and your hope and your vision for the athletics in our district, but we'll have to definitely take a closer look at that when we get closer to that season. I also wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Barbo, who's thrown his hat in the ring to run for an office. I think he's a great candidate, so I'm going to wish him all the best of luck. I think he's on the right track, so good luck to him. And that's all I have. So, do you have anything, Mrs. Cybulski?
No, I think you said it all. Oh. I forgot graduation has been.
I know.
It feels like it was a while ago.
I know.
No, it was lovely, and I want to thank Michele and Dr. Lombardo and Ann for allowing me to pass out the diplomas this year. A lot of those kids are really special.
Anything else?
That's pretty good.
All right. The board will hold an executive session to discuss employee personnel matters under Ohio Revised Code 121.22 for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee or official, and for the matters under Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22 for matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulations or state statutes. All matters discussed in all executive sessions are designated to the public officials and employees as confidential pursuant to Revised Code 102.03 because of the status of the proceedings and or the circumstances under which the information will be received, and preserving its confidentiality is necessary to the proper conduct of government business. I need a motion to approve.
I move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
No, sorry.
Prior to that, are we returning for business?
No.
Mrs. Krieg,
Yes.
Mrs. Cybulski,
Yes.
Mr. Pierson,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
and Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
We will not be returning for any new business after the executive session. Thank you. Have a good evening.